how are you going to feel once you do the thing. Hi, if I didn't turn the camera on now, I would just keep procrastinating and waiting for the perfect moment and everything set up perfectly. However, I needed to really sit down and just speak to the camera and check in. And I'm actually, even though I'm a little bit just like disheveled, I just finished breakfast. It is Sunday. We are Sunday, I believe, Sunday the 17th of May. Time is flying by so fast. I cannot believe how fast time is flying. I don't even remember the last time I sat down. I think I even recorded some stories on Instagram. However, I even scripted out like a proper video, which I may film later this afternoon, about just certain things that I wanted to like share with you in a bit more of a structured way. And of course, I turned the camera on and guess who is already making sounds? Wax! It's like, how do they know that as soon as the camera goes on that it's time to start playing around? Anyway, everything is pretty good. Actually, I did wake up feeling a little bit like anxious about a few things, and then I went to Pilates, and by the end of my Pilates class, I was like, oh, all I needed to do was just move my body and breathe and get into that morning flow. I feel like I had created a video a few weeks ago sharing about all these things that I wanted to get done by my 46th birthday, which is coming up this Friday. Certain things that I wanted to do for my business, and then certain things in my house. Look, I haven't achieved everything that I set out that I wanted to do. However, I've really actually made a lot of progress in the last couple of weeks. Of course, I could be better and could have done more with things that I had my intentions and my goals for. However, I definitely need to celebrate myself and give myself credit that I have been making some progress and building momentum in some areas. I haven't been posting a lot on Instagram. However, I was working in the background on my new funnel. I still need to, and maybe I'll do that this afternoon. Oh, actually, I booked for the first time a lymphatic drain massage. I need to film a new web class, even though my last meeting last week with my online community, our mentor had shared that they'd created all these new slides and they have a new script for us to do a presentation. It also looks shorter. However, I'm going to finish what I get started and create the new funnel and my presentation and the slides and put it all together and have that, and then start running again some ads, and then do another new presentation with slides, and then run that as like a split A/B test, I think they call that. In the background this week, I was working on that. This last week, because today is Sunday, from Monday morning, I pretty much every morning woke up before my alarm at 5 a.m. I didn't every morning get up at 5 a.m. Just after 5 or 5:30 or like 6, and I woke up straight away to get into some morning routine, and whether that was writing a bit in my morning journal, like morning pages, reviewing what things I wanted to work on. My first 2 mornings, I think Monday and Tuesday, I actually finished editing 3 videos that I need to get out. And then for the rest of the week, morning, I was working on my funnel. And then in the afternoon, after surfing, when I would go to eat, I was working again on my funnel. And I've pretty much, like I'm about 80 to 85% finished on the funnel pages. And so I still need to finish that off. I need to do a few graphics, and then, like I said, still like finish that off. But I actually had made a lot of progress with only like getting into that workflow. I started to, by the evening, get into a morning routine of getting off my phone, putting some nighttime frequency music tunes on Spotify, doing my end of day journaling and reviewing my day, as well as then having a shower, doing all my skincare, using my Medicube device, and then getting into bed and reading and not scrolling. So good. My light would usually be out by 10 most of those nights. Last night it was a little bit later because I went to dinner. And then in the morning I would wake up and not look at my phone, wake up, shower, feed the cats, and then go to Pilates. The other thing, which I'm so proud of, because I've been sharing for a long time that this is a wellness habit and a wellness practice that I've been wanting to do, is read before bed, not scroll, and go to bed earlier. And I've been doing that this first week, and that feels really great. The other thing that I was doing is, I don't know if it's because, I'm just feeling like tired from surfing, which always makes me more sensitive at the end of the day if I have to like drive in traffic and go somewhere. So now in the morning before Pilates and then of an afternoon or any time I'm getting on my bike, I have already started driving very slowly because the traffic is already starting to stress me out. I'm making sure that if I have to get to Pilates, usually I would leave sometimes 12 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes before class to get from here. No, now I'm leaving 25 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes and driving slowly in the morning. And after, like anytime I'm on the road now, I'm leaving early to give myself time to not drive fast or stress in the traffic and just go slowly at my own pace. That feels really good because I am already starting to feel like the traffic, it's starting to affect my nervous system. And it's something that I've really wanted to focus on this year is my nervous system and is my energy. Because by the end of last year, I could barely even drive on my own bike. I was so tired. I would call the Gojek car or the Grab bike to take me from my house to like Drifter or Alchemy, or if I was going somewhere of an afternoon to go eat and work. Like I couldn't get on my bike. I was so with other things, but as well as with the traffic. This year, and you've probably heard me speak about, I've been focused on doing things differently so that I can keep my nervous system regulated and I can keep my frequency aligned and I can keep my positive mindset about just my general Bali life. And then it brings me to the other thing. I'm grateful that I've been getting into and making progress and starting to build momentum and do things for my business because I wasn't so locked in before. And that feels really good. In the morning when I've been journaling, I write a gratitude and I write about as if I'm already in my future self and how grateful I am for my business and this and that and certain things in my life. Then throughout the day, I'm trying to focus on keeping that frequency, embodying that frequency of what I journal about and manifest and get into the frequency in the morning of and continue to embody that throughout the day. And even though I could be really hard on myself thinking, oh, I'm not getting absolutely everything that I need to get done for my business, I'm actually staying in a very grounded and clear and positive mindset and frequency that I am actually doing things that are contributing in the long term to what I need to do for my business, for my wellness, for my own personal development and my mindset to stay in that frequency. Because that was a really big thing for me last year, that I became very tired, dysregulated nervous system, very negative at times, very angry. And this year, I don't want to be in that vibration and that frequency. I've really had to honor and always honor what my vision is and what I value and what matters to me, and to be making decisions throughout the day and being aware of my mindset throughout the day to continue to support my higher self and those visions and those values and embodying that frequency of who I want to be and what I'm creating. I know that's a bit of a long-winded answer, but I do feel good. And I was at dinner last night and I said to my friends, oh, I wish I almost had a tangible result of something that I've achieved and I've made progress in. But at this stage, I don't have a certain business revenue specific number, or it's not oh, I had this amazing wave and look at what I did. There's nothing from the outside that you could judge me for oh, she's doing really well. And at the end of the day, also, it doesn't really matter what other people think. But just for my own self, at least I know that I am, in the last few weeks, I've really tried to focus in on how I need to be, what I need to be doing, and to create just some consistency there with achieving those goals and how I need to be every day. And I think that's great. And I celebrate myself and give myself credit for that. And I also encourage you're also in a phase, and this is, I was having a conversation with a woman right now who I've actually had a few kind of coaching sessions for surfing mindset. And we're also talking, she's interested in buying one of the machines, maybe interested in the water business. I was supporting her yesterday through some conversations, sharing, I was encouraging her that you've got to honor, be aware of the phase of life that you're in right now. And just to accept that that is your situation, then to make decisions accordingly that can allow you to be able to take action and make different choices so that you can ultimately change your current life and your mindset and your energy. And I know that might sound easier on paper, but what I encourage you, if you are going through a more challenging time, as we all do, is just to do something for yourself in your day, whether it's you read a book, you listen to a podcast, you sit and meditate, you go for a walk, you book into that class, you get out in nature. You've got to be able to do something that allows you to ground your energy and to feel centered and aligned and present and aware. And when you allow your nervous system and your mindset to be in a more like stable, grounded, aligned beingness, state of being, then you're able to think clearer about this is my life and these are the goals that I have, and that's not like, matching the reality. What do I need to do to at least start to make small steps and changes so that you're moving towards that goal? Because if you're living in a way right now and it's not your life, your habits, your thoughts, your actions, environment that you're in, what you're consuming, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're consuming, like your whole realm in reality right now, if that's not supporting and honoring your higher self and it's helping you to move towards becoming a better version of you and creating a different life and a different way of earning an income, let's say, then recognize that and know that just start with making one decision, one different choice today that's going to move you one step closer to being able to change and to being able to achieve that goal. Because you can start at any day to change your life, and likely your life won't change just dramatically overnight. That's why it's really important to know and to use your own discernment that got to start to make those small changes like now. And things don't have to take years, and it takes time to completely change your life and change your mind. Like you can, in this instant that you're watching this video, you can say, okay, I'm dissatisfied, I'm unfulfilled, I'm not feeling empowered, I'm in this state of being, but I want to be in a different way. So I need to already recognize like I can change. Then you make that change. Again, I was having a conversation with one of my friends last night, and she hasn't been surfing in a long time. And she's like, oh, I just know how good it's gonna feel when I surf. And I said, that's the feeling that you need to focus on to get yourself back in the water. And for her, she just wants to, start off with small waves, but to like go with someone, go with a coach. And I said, you've just got to start and get into that momentum and live into that feeling, knowing that when you go for that first time going to surf, or if it's you getting into the practice of doing something that you need to build consistency on, focus on how you're going to feel once you do the thing. Another thing that I journaled the other night about is that I have my goals and I have my intentions, and you also will have your goals and your intentions and your plans. And it's important to have a plan and have a strategy and to take action, but to also detach from what that outcome is going to be, to also detach from the expectation and the outcome, to really just enjoy being in the moment and in the process, right? Falling in love with the process and divorcing what the outcome is. And I know, again, that sounds easier to say. When you can start to make that decision and make that shift in your mind that you can actually change your life, but it starts just by making few small changes in your day, in your nighttime, in the middle of the day, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, when that eventually compounds, you're gonna look back and be like, oh wow, like I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and I did that. I know that that makes sense for you, and maybe it's just this video today and just a gentle reminder for you to look at your life, discern what is in flow for you and what is not, and to start to make different choices. Because until the more that you, and I speak for this myself, the more that you continue to procrastinate and wait for the right moment and wait for everything to be perfect, like that just doesn't happen like that. Getting into the flow and building the momentum and doing things messy and starting small, taking that first step, because when you start to do that, it does and it will start to build momentum, because you start to feel better about yourself. And when you start to get into that frequency that you're starting to feel good for yourself, you want to feed more of that feel good feeling. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope that you have found some value. I really wanted to sit down and connect. I have laundry, I'm about to go serve. I had some things arrive from IKEA the other day. I've got some storage boxes. There's even another delivery coming today. They're going to assemble. I bought this shelving storage unit for my home office. Always busy and different things to do, but I wanted to check in and just say thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you found some vibe and some value. If you have anything to share with me, please leave it in the comments, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now. Thank you.